The time that he left, I had just given birth to our daughter. My daughter was born in a very bad situation. She actually ended up having cerebral palsy, and she's a disabled child. And during that time when she was in and out of the hospital, he actually skipped the country. One day he was just gone. He sold the business, sold the car, and just left. I had to quit my job. I was suddenly a single mother raising 2 kids without a job, without anything. I was a wreck.
lman-achai, which means For the Sake of My Brothers, is an award-winning organization that began in the year 2000 in Ramat Beit Shemesh, Israel. It was inspired by one small incident.
I was living in Pisgat Ze'ev in North Jerusalem with my family. One day there was a big commotion outside our apartment block. I went out to see what was going on. There was the bailiff had arrived with his forces to come and repossess one of the apartments. They went upstairs, past my apartment, into the neighbours. They knocked on the door, there was no answer. They therefore smashed the door down and forced entry into the front room. They started to take all the furniture, the toys, the books, everything from the apartment. They had a problem. There was a 80-year-old lady, the grandmother, lying on the couch. So two of them picked up the grandmother and put her on the ground. They then carried the couch away. I heard that 2 weeks later the lady passed away from the trauma of what she'd been through. This crime that the family had committed consisted of bouncing a $25 check. I found this very upsetting.
That incident eventually led to a greater vision of comprehensive aid. Going through this little door into lman-achai's modest office space has made all the difference in the lives of thousands of Beit Shemesh residents.
I therefore put a team of lawyers, of financial counselors, to make sure that in future such a family would have where to turn.
Today, lman-achai has 25 programs that serve over 1,000 people a month.
There was a family, the breadwinner lost his job, the employer had gone bankrupt, their electricity was cut off, and their water was cut off. They were using the park to go and fill up water bottles, so they'd have drink. And it was when the kids started arguing and fighting over the last piece of bread in the house that the father decided to call lman-achai.
Most people don't like asking for help, but lman-achai is it's a friendly place to come and ask for help. It's not the usual welfare service.
We have counselors who work with the families, who teach them how to manage their money, how to get out of debt, how to refinance mortgages, whatever their specific problem is, in order to get back on their feet. And it's a major part of the rehabilitative services.
lman-achai is a community project. It employs a handful of specialized professionals, but most of the work is done by a dedicated staff of hundreds of local volunteers. lman-achai's philosophy is to strengthen communities through neighbors helping neighbors. Last year, a 32-year-old father of 2 young children was diagnosed with lung cancer and forced to stop working.
It was lung cancer that had already spread throughout his chest, to his lymph nodes, and he was given a 5% chance of survival.
They decided to do chemotherapy and radiation together. It was very hard.
His neighbors and synagogue were supportive, but not sure how to be most helpful, until lman-achai stepped in with a comprehensive, long-term approach tailored to the family's needs.
The 2 most important things at the time were the supportive therapy, sitting the whole family down, getting everyone to talk about, everything that's happening and the feelings that they're having. And the second thing was the economic issue.
And the whole turmoil of having a husband with really life-threatening cancer and having to deal with the children and trying to have as normal a life as possible, I always felt that at the back of my mind, this sense of security that all my needs had been taken care of.
There are many ways in which lman-achai helps people. Professional social workers make sure lman-achai's clients are getting what they need: school books, food coupons, weekly food distribution, clothing, furniture, support groups, Big Brother programs, and even a free dental clinic. lman-achai's streamlined, mainly volunteer organization enables hundreds of people to be helped from a modest office space with minimal overhead.
If lman-achai wouldn't be able to offer this service, there would be people with pain and no one to help them. No one.
If you can prevent a disease, the idea of an ounce of prevention is worth many, many pounds of cure. There are some conditions for which there may not be a cure, and prevention is the only way to go. And lman-achai has been doing a great deal of work in prevention.
So on the one hand, we have financial counselors who are working directly with them, and we've also sponsored seminars, both in English and Hebrew, in Ramat Beit Shemesh for the general community, to teach people before they get into debt, before they run into problems, how to manage their money. lman-achai has 25 successful programs under one roof to help families get back on their feet, and we want to do more.
I could never thank lman-achai enough for that.
I met all these people that helped me. I don't want to help me again. I want to help them now.
lman-achai. It's all about caring.